Hellcat.
Hello friends, this is Vandana here. Friends, today I would like to continue the discussion of clause and I will make you aware with every point of clauses. Okay, so let's get ready with today's topic. First of all, noun clause. A noun clause answer the questions what about the verb in a sentence. Noun clauses usually act as subject to the verb. For example, whatever God does will be for the best. Now come to the next point, act as object to the verb. For example, Sid knew why he failed. Now we come to the third point of clauses, act as the object to the preposition. For example, I was paying attention to what he was doing. Okay, now we come to the fourth concept of clauses, act as a complement to a verb. For example, his thought was that she could not succeed to get the good marks. Okay, and now I want to discuss how to identify the noun clause. Here you may ask the question, first of all you see the sentence, whatever God does will be for the best. Now what will be the for the best, and the answer to this would be the noun clause, that is whatever God does. Okay, now we come to the subordinating conjunctions. What are subordinating conjunctions? Okay, subordinating conjunctions which are used for the noun clause. These are the subordinating conjunctions like that, who, when, however, what, whoever, whenever, where, whatever, why, how, wherever. These are the subordinating conjunctions. Okay, now we come to relative clauses. Relative clauses to the work of adjectives and are also called adjective clauses. Just like determiners and adjectives, relative clauses qualify the nouns before them. The nouns being qualified in the sentences. Relative clauses are introduced by relative pronouns such as who, which, whose, whom, what, that, when, where, why, and how. Okay, these are the relative clauses. Relative clauses are of two types. Number one is defining and number two is non-defining. Defining and non-defining clauses. Defining clauses give essential information about the person or thing that is being talked about. Without this information, we would not be able to identify the person or thing. For example, the boy who came first in the class is my son. Okay, now we come to the next, non-defining clauses. Non-defining relative clauses give extra information about a person or thing which is not necessary for the meaning of the sentence. A non-defining clause is separated from the main clause by commas. For example, Vandana Tiwari, whose father was a retired officer, decided to shift to in another city. Okay, now we come to the next concept of clauses, reduced relative clauses. It is reduced relative or adjective clauses can be reduced to phrases which modify the noun without changing the meaning of the sentence. Okay, and how can we change the relative clauses to phrases? Ways of reducing relative clauses to phrases. First is we omit the relative pronouns who, which, that, and the be form of the verb like is, was, were, and so on, when the relative clauses is the subject of the clause. Okay, next point, the ceremony. For example, the ceremony that is celebrating by the people of the village very funny. The ceremony celebrating by the people is very funny. Okay, now we come to the second ways to change the relative clauses to phrases. We often drop the relative pronouns and change the verb to its ing form when adjective clauses do not contain the verb. For example, students who have their hall tickets, they will appear in examination hall. Students having their hall tickets, they will appear in the examination hall. Now we come to the third concept of clauses. Some adjective clauses can be reduced to appositive phrases, and appositive phrases is formed by simply placing one noun or noun phrases next to another with a comma between them. For example, Mrs. Rani, who is our staff member, is very ambitious woman. Okay, and Mrs. Rani, our staff member, is very ambitious. Okay friends, now I am going to wind up my lecture in this video. तब तक के लिए आपकी वंदना से विदा लेती है. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग माई वीडियो. जय हिंद, जय भारत.